All right, so I got Layla with me today. Layla, no! This is why we don't work creatively, because she's a wiggler. But I wanted to bring her on, and you know, right before I start my video, because I promised Miss Barbara I would have her in the next one. It's just since the last video I did, she's become rambunctious. She'll be 11 months next week. See what I mean? She won't sit in one place, but just say, hey, hey, hey! Girl, I just got that even. All right. Just say, hi, Miss Barbara. Hi, GH Critical Listers. Hi, everyone in the General Hospital fan base. All right, fine. Thank you all for joining me today. I hope you had a great week and are having an even better weekend. There is a lot that I want to discuss today. I even took a few notes so I don't forget. So on Twitter, I was asking what happened on the 14,000 episode of General Hospital, because I noticed that many people on my Twitter feed, they weren't talking about it very much. Shout out to Paula for this tweet. 100, with all the GH hype, it was boring. Please add to your next video how Chase, the new Griffin look-alike cop, makes the GH 14,000 episode. Props to Sunny and Mike today, and of course to Jarly. Thank you so much for that. It wasn't until you said that I was like, they do favor each other, don't they? Like, even with the hair, kind of. But I'm glad that Griffin no longer has that long look he had when he first came on. I don't think he looks good like that. Dear GH writers, are you conspiring to ruin what is left of my favorite soap? Some of the storytelling isn't very compelling, and it lacks heart-pounding, deliciously messy, and scandalous drama. Maybe that's why 4 out of the 5 weekly episodes consists of characters chasing their own tails instead of any movement being made in the story. You know it's bad when rumors are better than the actual episode. How come when there's a new writer, the first few weeks are on fire?
Lord Jesus is a fire.
I'm tuning in every day, praising the powers that be, feeling like, yes, they're finally getting it. They know what the fans want. Pleading that you all do not mess it up. I feel like in some of the plots that we have going on, that you all are not getting it. I don't appreciate when the characters are being written as though they don't have common sense, or like they're not able to draw simple conclusions. It's like you all are dumbing down the material, leaving fans feeling frustrated and duped. We're an intelligent audience, so many of us aren't going to accept whatever you're giving us. I do understand that certain details the audience knows before the characters. However, it is annoying when I'm ready to cross the street and get to the next part of the plot, but I can't because I'm waiting for the characters to stop tripping over themselves so they can meet me at the curb. And we're not talking days or weeks or months. We're talking years here. It could be years before there is anything worthwhile that happens within the story. Why? I understand soap operas have a specific formula that they follow. However, improvements and changes can be made because there are real pacing issues here. We're towards the end of February sweeps, and nothing remotely has caused me to fall the hell up out my chair in shock or disbelief. The one thing General Hospital had going for them this month was Nathan's death and funeral. That's it. Even on Thursday's episode, when they showed that Peter had the flash drive, there was no surprise in that because the audience knew from the moment that he showed up out of nowhere talking to Drew, trying to get a job at Aurora, something was off with this one. Shout out to Sunny Golden Reel with this tweet. Please talk about other February sweeps storylines compared to this February sweeps. My first sweeps event was the Port Charles Hotel fire, and that remains my favorite one that occurred back in 2004. Others that stand out to me is the virus outbreak in 2006, the Metro Court hostage crisis in 2007, also when Sunny shot Dante in 2010, I believe, as well as Brenda being taken by the Vulcan back in 2011. However, her O2 return was much better than that storyline. Comparing past to present, there's nothing electrifying about Sweeps anymore. As I said before, outside of Nathan's death, there's nothing going on in the other plots that's really memorable, except where Sunny and Mike is concerned, because GH hasn't touched on Alzheimer's before. Usually during Sweeps, you see stories get the push they need to help them move forward. However, we're continuing to see them drag along, which doesn't make for good TV. Shout out to Pauline Mitchell for sending me this tweet. Getting rid of Nelle. Her character has run out. No one wants her around, and I'm tired of the back and forth with Carly. She has revenge on her mind 24/7. I wish she would leave Port Charles. Believe me, no one would miss her. Except Ava. Birds of a feather fly together. There are thousands of fans who agree with you. I'm in between, and that's because Nelle is a mess, but she is messy. You know what I mean? That's a lot more than what I could say for some of the dead weight on the canvas. I will say that I'm surprised she has lasted this long, but I won't be surprised if in 10 years she's a fan favorite like Carly. As I said, I'm not totally against her. I just wish her presence would have made Michael's character the least bit interesting. However, especially after the comments that she made to Maxie this week, if something were to happen to her, I would not miss her. It wouldn't cause me to just be like, no, bring her back. No, no. But again, my true issue is not really with Nelle so much as it is with Michael. Nelle wouldn't have gotten as far as she did if it hadn't been for him not coming to his senses sooner. On Tuesday's episode, Michael told Monica, don't invite her over to the house because it could send the wrong idea to her that we're getting back together. But then Nelle is like, hey, I saved you a seat. Come over here. And you sit next to her. What kind of message are you sending there, Michael? Get your life together. And then at the Lamaze class, when Nelle came out her mouth to Maxie about, oh, you couldn't find somebody sane. And Maxie said what she said, and I'm glad she did.
And I see you still can't find someone to love you.
Instead of sitting there saying, you started it with her first. Don't come for her if you don't want to get red. No, Michael's like, Maxie's grieving. You can't really blame her. Nelle asked for it and she got it. If you can't handle the heat, then don't go near the fire, okay? Michael is the CEO of a company and you all are about to strap him with a baby. He's just too young to be so boring. He should be the hottest thing on GH right now. Rough him up a bit, please. I mean, it took Jason getting into an accident for him to be interesting. Shout out to Jasmine Jackson for sending me this tweet. Please talk about how Alexis lost and Sad was looking there. Sad too funny. Also, shout out to Renee Simmons. What are your thoughts on the mama and daughter duo of Frit and Frat? In other words, Alexis and Sam. Thank you so much, ladies, for those tweets. I'm going to talk about Alexis and then I will get to Sam a little later on. Why have Alexis take Laura's place if Ned was just going to win anyway? He could have just won by default, especially since I was really hoping that there would have been a good old down and dirty debate between the candidates in front of the whole town. I mean, Alexis and Ned, they have so much history between each other, so I really wanted to see that kind of interaction between them. I mean, it would have been more interesting than watching Alexis drool over Julian, who, I don't know, held a knife to her throat. Alexis needs to stay out of Julian's bar, or any bar for that matter. How about that? Olivia was right and Alexis has no business being mayor. Alexis and Julian can give all the excuses they want about why Julian hurt her and went along with his sister's plan. I don't accept it. The way I see it, Julian chose himself over his family, plain and simple. Him showing up at the Quartermains and slamming Ned into a wall, calling him a chump, was laughable. And Alexis did what she did, not for the reason she's hiding behind, but because she loves him. I am so glad that she has sex with Finn, honey. Yes! You have to go under to get over. Anna had her chance to get it, but she left the man with blue balls in the middle of the night to go talk to Valentine. You did not deserve the D. Angela Pisano tweeted, I definitely want to hear what you think of Nelle, also Kim and Charlie. Speaking of Julian, him and Kim are okay. I don't have any problems with them. I like how it's developing. I feel like I still have to catch up because I'm not fully seeing it between them as far as a full-blown relationship. But the friendship is good. I feel that Kim is among the many characters who's not needed on the show. Really, her presence wasn't needed past the Thanksgiving episode because Oscar and Jocelyn were able to figure out that Drew was his father on their own. As I've said before, Kim hasn't been scandalous in the slightest. She has no juice and my throat is dry. Shout out to Valencia who sent me this tweet. How in order to try and redeem Franco, they have to resort to making some childhood trauma happen to him. Because the tumor reason isn't working. James Franco played the character as well as the writing too psychotic for them to pull back now. They should have left him as is. Preach it. His redemption has been in the works since 2013. If you're a changed man today, I don't understand why he's just so hard with reaching back in the past to figure out who he is now. For me, there shouldn't have been a tumor. He should have been built up as he was. The only reason the tumor happened was to justify his relationship with Carly, and I still feel like that shouldn't have happened. It's just frustrating that both Drew and Franco are focusing on their time together when they were 3. There's so much more life that was lived between then and now that Drew should be focusing on. Yeah, that'll be the day. Dante and Lulu have been boring for a while. For me, Griffin and Ava are somewhat boring. GH gets rid of Dylan, but they keep Kiki. But I do see potential between Peter and Maxie. Maybe not romantic, it just would be a little too weird for me considering that he's Nathan's brother. Of course, that means it'll take longer for his identity to be revealed, which I'm not looking forward to because you know they have to build up the friendship over there. I understand that they have to build a story. However, along the way, it's just a bit boring because there's nothing really happening in between, especially with the Jason, Sam, and Drew storyline that took a nosedive off a cliff and hasn't recovered. Kenneth Turner sent me a tweet on Twitter. It's so lame, I resorted to watching when Jason first came back. Where did they go so wrong? They had the perfect storyline and blew it. I too go back and watch those scenes when he was in the clinic and then when he first started talking to Sonny, when he came through the skylight. GH hasn't been exciting since then. In my opinion, the story went wrong and became twisted with Sam's reaction or lack thereof. I understand that her feelings of love and loss, her grief and relief at the fact that he was alive, she put it all into Drew, thinking that he was Jason. So I wasn't expecting her to have that same reaction to when he came back this time around. Besides some tears and a conversation they had on the docks, we haven't gotten anything more from Sam. The writers are trying to sell a non-existent triangle by having other characters provide Sam's perspective, and we're not seeing it, so it's not working. I am sick of Sam looking like she swallowed her gum every time she sees Jason. Enough with that, we need more. It would have been more believable if viewers could have seen Sam having a slight breakdown in private over her feelings for both men. Instead, you all are trying to make it seem like Drew is the only man who's come into Sam's life since Jason's disappearance and rescue her from her heartbrokenness. Also, you're trying to play us by making it seem as though her feelings are just as intense for Drew as they are for Jason. There has been no progress in this story since December. We got Faison's will thrown into the mix, and that was straight foolishness. Why, GH writers? Why prolong this less than stellar storyline by throwing in little roadblocks like that? Give Drew his memories back. He is getting on my nerves. He is so weak and ugh. I don't want this version of Sam with Jason. Their scenes that they had together on Thursday was cute, but still her reaction to Jason since his return has been a miss for me. Any woman's curiosity would have gotten the best of them by now, and Sam should have already sought out Jason for herself. A woman asked me in the comments on my YouTube channel, like, do you really want Sam going back to Jason in the mob with her 2 kids? Yes, I do, and I did not stutter. We live vicariously through the characters we watch. So I don't want to come home watching my favorite character sitting behind a desk like I've just done for the last 10 hours. I want to see Sam in her jeans and leather jacket with a knife in her boot, gun at her waist, ready to ride or die for the man she loves because he's her soulmate. I want to see them both fight for their family, and I want her to be neck deep in the drama. And she can handle it. Why? Because she's Sam motherfreaking McCall. Or at least she used to be. There was a missed opportunity between her and Maxie the other day. I need the writers to develop cutthroat dialogue, okay? Maxie should have called out Sam, letting her know, my husband's dead. Yours fought his way back to you. Why are you sitting here crying like you don't have a second chance? Why aren't you already with him? Oh, and why has Jason only fired 2 shots since he's been back in town? Where is the action. Those are just my thoughts on GH as of recently. This month, February sweeps, I was looking forward to sweeps because I was hoping that maybe we would just get some really good stuff. And I mean, like I said, there are a few good things that we've gotten this month, but overall it's just really been a bit tiresome and boring, and I just really want them to work on pacing these stories a little bit better. You can pick up the pace. It doesn't have to be so drawn out. You know what I mean? If you haven't already, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Also follow me on Twitter if you are on there, and let me know your thoughts, your opinions. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time, GHers, take care.